Welcome to Dice, Nerds, and Nagas, coming at you from Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Dice, Nerds, and Nagas, winner of the 1996 Taco Bell Golden Chalupa Award. Taco Bell, think outside of the bun. Now, with me today, we have a new player that will be with us for several episodes of Season 3, while Aki is off in the demon world, also known as, like, Singapore and New York and stuff. He's on vacation.
The demon world, known as America.
He also said that he hated looking at our faces every week, so he's taking a break. Let's go around and introduce those faces that Aki hated to look at.
I'm Fleur. I've been here for a while. I play Zenbri Oakling. She's a halfling, and she's a druid. I can fly.
There you go.
Finally.
I'm Erin. I come from that dark world of America, and I play a human cleric.
My name's Mark. I play Feather Marshal, a Dwarven Shadow Monk.
I'm Adrian Bear, and I play Jessup, the Wolfkind Ranger.
There you go. So, where we left off last time, the party was in the city of Waterdeep. They were exploring all kinds of things, hearing all kinds of rumors, comings and goings in the city. They visited the Temple of Kelemvor, fought some skeletons, attended the funeral of a god, and then went back to the Wizard's Conclave for nap time. Now, during all this... Yes?
Did we sleep? Have we rested?
Well, where we left off, you had gotten there, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess you were about to go to sleep, but dinner, yeah. You did not just yet. Okay. So I'll say you guys are paused in the moment.
Freeze frame.
And as you freeze frame, there's another on the screen it'll say, "Meanwhile, what's going on with Zenbri during the events of today?"
Right.
After landing Modoc's flying castle in the courtyard, Zenbri was kind of pulled away by Elvira, who requested that she go with her instead, and pulled away from the group. So Elvira leads you through the Wizard's Conclave, up a tower, to her private study, basically. And from there, there's a very nice view of the whole city, basically, covered in snow, smoke rising from the chimneys, kind of peaceful. And she's shuffling through some papers at her desk and finally looks back and he says, "So, you're still serious about this whole I want to destroy my soul when I die thing, right?"
Yes, I just think that the way that things have been going with me lately, I think that it might be a good idea to make sure that nobody's going to try and bring me back as some sort of crazy zombie druid bullshit. And also, I've been giving some thought to this whole I owe a demon a wife thing. I was thinking, maybe if I got married to the demon, he could help us.
Now, devils aren't known to be the most helpful people around.
Well, I mean, lots of people have been stuck in arranged marriages before and they've made it work.
It just reminded me of Buffy. I've seen some of these child bride demon deals. They never work out. Maybe once.
I mean, it's an idea. You'd probably have to talk to T. Neal yourself to work out the details of that, see if he's even interested in shorter women.
Shorter women.
Don't worry, dude. I'm a bit short too. They're more stooped than anything. Now, if we're gonna be doing this whole soul render stone, we've got to make sure that there's no that it's all legal. Okay, so go ahead here, sign on the dotted line at the bottom here. Just absolves me of any responsibility if you say, "Oh, I want this thing out of me." You know, I can't do that. It's a one-time deal.
What exactly am I signing?
Basically, a liability waiver. I'm going I don't want you trying to sue me or attack me or whine. I don't know, I'm old now, the cycle didn't actually happen, and I don't want my soul to be destroyed. This is a permanent procedure, you understand.
I see. Okay. Well, what I really wanted to do first was to find out find out as much about it as possible before I go ahead with it.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
I mean, I can be a bit rash sometimes, but I do want to still just like see what this is gonna do and how it works.
So you want to hold off on this for today, then?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Well, she just puts the papers back in a drawer. These will always be here then, if you
Okay.
want.
Well,
For all your soul-rending needs.
yeah, we've got time before I leave town, I think. If I decide that this is the way we want to go.
It will take a full day for me to do this.
Okay, I will keep that in mind.
Now, other than that, I do need to bring back old Preston Welford. Would you mind going with me?
No, not at all.
Just a short jaunt to the market, get some diamonds, do a few spells, bring him back. Nima's been moping around that castle the whole
Aw.
trip, so
Yes.
figure I owe her one.
I'm happy to help you in any way that I can with that, and I'd love to observe you do the ritual. I know because eventually I think I'll be able to do it too. So it would be interesting to actually see one done before I have to maybe one day do it myself for one of the others. They do like to die so much.
You do like to throw yourself into danger. It's admirable and stupid.
I think, how much money would I have taken with me?
As much as
Up
you
to
want.
really. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah?
so far they've been pilfering the coffers pretty freely.
Okay, well, I'll take maybe a couple thousand gold with me.
Mr. Finances isn't here right
Just a-
now.
Yes, he isn't.
A large bag, I guess, of gold that
Just
you're
over
so-
6,000.
Well, actually, Elvira, do you guys have any sort of way that I could, I don't know, give you guys the money and then you have like a script or something I can take with so I don't have to carry around this bulking bag of cash?
Fair enough. We can manage that, I suppose.
Perfect.
Let's go down to the bursar's office.
That's perfect,
Just
great.
invent money, paper money.
I'm pretty sure it's already there. I mean, come on. It's a real world.
There's banks and
of
such
gold.
already, so
Yes.
it's sure this will work in anywhere in Waterdeep, basically.
Yes, yeah. Makes
They
sense.
can-
Wizard card.
Essentially, yes.
Yes.
So yes, They take you down to an office where a very bored-looking clerk fills out the paperwork, takes the money, and
Sweet.
basically gives you the paper version.
Yeah, so I give him 2,000 pieces of gold.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
And this should be straight conversion, no need to dick around with any fractions or anything. So you'll be able to use that in Waterdeep freely at pretty
Sounds
much
perfect.
anywhere.
I keep a couple coins on myself for,
Okay.
little things,
Little,
I suppose.
sure. So, let's see. Alvaro, you trudge through the sort of icy roads, down the alleys to a large jeweler's shop where Elvira is greeted by name, and she immediately goes over to, I wouldn't say a large barrel, sort of a tray of small diamonds, and just begins grabbing some handfuls of them, tossing them in a bag. Brings it up to the man for weighing and says, Zenbri, look around here. Whatever kind of, I guess, crystal or stone that catches your eye, that's what I will be implanting to rend your soul.
Okay.
So, pick a color you like. You'll be stuck with it for a while.
Well, okay.
And you can
I
basically...
don't really care, about colors. Just a blue one, an orange one, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so a blue one or an orange one. Alright, she finds a large... Are opals blue?
They can be.
Okay, she
Very
finds
good.
large blue opal, kind of tells the clerk, hey, put this one off to the side, I might need it later.
Okay.
And pays for the diamonds, brings them back to the school, and she begins the ritual to bring back Preston from the dead.
Okay.
She has a length of his hair, a few of his possessions scattered around a large stone slab, and it doesn't take that long to do the resurrection spell, I don't think.
What is he doing?
We have a baby walking around somewhere. He's squishing things.
Let's see, resurrection. Here we go. The spell that takes. You touch a dead creature that's been dead for centuries. Okay. So she only has the length of his hair, makes it a little more difficult to do the spell, and spreads salt and bone, kind of makes a facimal of like all the components for a body, basically.
Okay, right, okay.
And does a bit of writing on the slab already, and speaks the correct magic phrases, and after about an hour or so, the body begins gaining more defined features.
Interesting.
And finally kind of grows a little bit into a proper size, shape, the right hair grows out, the eyes fill in. It's kind of a gruesome sight to see, actually. It's like
Zengri
a whole
is like
body
sitting
being
there,
made in slow motion.
Zengri's sitting there cross-legged on the floor, just like watching everything that happens.
Because, taking a body apart and putting it back together are pretty much the same thing as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And she's rambling on. This takes a while, I guess, until finally it takes the definite shape of Preston. She casts a spell of sleep on the newly awakened body and says, it helps prevent them freaking out too much if they can get a little bit of sleep ahead of time. I think I'll just tell them we had some bad dreams or something. They're very suggestible and immediately after resurrection, so should be right as rain by the end of the day.
Okay.
Lunch?
Sure, yeah. Let's go have lunch, but also I'd like to know if we're going to be going anywhere in town, that I might be able to speak with some people about, first of all, some health potions, because as we said earlier, my friends do like to die a lot, and then I'm also looking for something to help me to become better with my bow. If you know of anybody like.
Well, perhaps the Griffin Knights. They're quite skilled and they have an archery range.
Oh, sweet. Griffin
So
Knights.
you could probably practice there if you sweet talk the guard or the guy at the front door a little bit. Let them know I'm a concerned citizen. I just want to practice my skill. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
They're very big on procedure, but really, all people are foolish enough to make mistakes. Now, so that we don't make an awful mistake, what kind of food do you like to eat for lunch? I'm thinking something fishy.
That's fine by me.
And blah blah blah. You guys have a nice lunch near the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of run down place, but she says, no, don't let the exterior fool you. This is a great place where all the locals go when you want fresh seafood. Yada yada yada, boring stuff, and then finally you catch up with your friends near the end of the day after a lengthy lunch.
Okay.
They return from, I believe it was straight from Kelemvor's tower, outside of the city gates,
Tried to get
and
into Kaloon, didn't work.
Yeah.
did not work. No, it is locked down tight.
Oh wait, that was alone. Yeah, you guys went somewhere else.
Yeah, we all met back for like dinner, and then we had that whole conversation, and then we went to bed and did the whole dreaming thing with my brother.
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we ended off. I think.
Yeah.
Nice. So, wait. So you already went to sleep, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
So
if you'd like, when Feather Marshal is coming back,
yes.
you can run into him, or you can also just go to bed or whatever.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can wait until the next day to go look for the Griffin Knights and stuff like that. That's good. I probably have a lot of time. Need some time to sit down and think about, if I'm really gonna do this destroy my soul thing
Oh yeah, Elvira's very cavalier about it.
Yes, she is. She is very cavalier about it. Like,
She's kind of lived a life where any mistakes she made or problems she had, she could just kind of magic it away.
Yay, magic.
yeah. Zimri doesn't really think of magic in that way.
Yeah. For her, it's just something you can brute force to make the world whatever you want it to be. So, beyond that, Mardem, you have been kind of, maybe not languishing at the Wizards' Conclave, but bored, I guess. Most of the wizards are gone now. They've been sent out to separate missions all over the world. The wizards are very hush-hush about it, though. You're sort of kept in the dark about what exactly the purposes of all this seeking, why they're not at their own conclave.
That sounds like a wizard.
But yeah, mysterious, a little bit aloof, and it's been kind of a pain in the butt, just hanging out here without a whole lot to do in the city.
I'm starting to get a little itchy, like maybe it's time to move on, go do something else.
Exactly. You completed the main part of your contract, but they're trying to retain your services in case something else comes up. But that's not really that enticing of a thing for you now. Something that does seem exciting and enticing, though, was the day before a giant's castle, a flying cloud giant's castle, landed in the courtyard.
That's new.
All the heads of the schools of magic, including the councilman for the entire city of Waterdeep, went to greet them, and they ran off in all different directions that day, only returning late at night.
The giants did?
The party members that were in the castle. You were able to kind of glance at them, and they were a strange group, kind of a scruffy-looking dwarf. It looks like a wolf-kind ranger. I'm not sure if it would be easy to tell if it was a wolf-kind, but...
Not really. We pretty much look human and
Like-
just a little bit
around.
So you're gonna
hairier.
smell around them?
A rangery
Walks around
type.
sniffing bums.
Halfling spellcaster, most likely a druid, just dressed by the... Probably, imagine there's something of a nature motif.
Well, I mean, no. Remember, I have the cloak of Arachnida on.
Oh, yeah, so a halfling, a rather sinister-looking halfling, possibly, with a spider cloak.
I guess I almost look like a forest gypsy because I've got
Forest
like
gypsy.
yeah. If you can imagine like gypsy style clothing, but instead of like being all bright and shit, it's more like green and like the loose sort of pants and stuff like that. No shoes, but it's like
Camo.
more
Camo.
kind of.
Orange camo.
Would it be fair to say that maybe I feel a little bit of like a divine push? Like, hey,
Not sure about divine, but these people definitely look like they know where the action is. They look maybe a little beaten up. The castle itself is battle scars on the outside of it. Bits of masonry already chipped out and
Been a
things.
long week.
It's been through a rough time, and
It's the last time we let the imp drive.
Real time
beyond that, there was also another rather sinister-looking Wanti, which is something that you've actually dealt with very recently. You were sent south to kind of these gray waste of fields where you and your group of wizards battled a Wanti for the body of a dragon that had died. So that was the most
Successfully.
recent mission you were on. Successfully, you fought off the Wanti, and
what does a one teeth look like?
it's kind of like a snake person. Big, kind of golden eyes, kind of coppery skin.
Okay.
Some of them have some scaling, I guess,
He's a true blood or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He looks like a human, but his eyes look like snake pupils.
Well, even the purebloods are a little snaky looking.
Yeah.
And someone that had just recently fought one would maybe be able to tell a little more clearly. And on top of that, a rather imposing looking, solemn paladin, which was an Asimar, I believe. Asimar. Which, just thick, 2 C's. But it was also in the party. And
So
they,
I saw this one T like run off with these guys.
he actually left on his own, rather mysteriously.
It's a pity. I feel like I can't follow him.
Actually, if you wanted to, you could devote that day to following the Yuan Ti around.
Yes, absolutely.
And he is just as mysterious and sinister as he looked. As you're following him around, you know, he... give me a stealth check, actually, to see how clearly you can...
I'm not
Buddy's not
stealthy.
with him,
No.
No, he doesn't have Buddy. He doesn't have his safety blanket.
For stealth, I got a 14.
14? So, you follow him kind of going toward the docks, but he notices you.
Naturally. It's that heavy armor.
It's the heavy armor. Clunk, 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 clunk. I've been hearing that for the last mile. So, he notices you, and he darts off. He leads you on a chase throughout the entire docks until finally he's able to drop you. And you were unable to continue.
So I'm at the docks?
Yes, you're at the docks now.
Peer around.
Yeah, and he's you kind of lost sight of this Yuan Ti in the crowds.
Do I see anyone around in the docks that looks interesting other than this Yuan Ti I've been following?
Oh, well, a lot of interesting people at the docks. Just different sailors, workers, things like that. It's a pretty slow day at the docks, I guess, which means that this person must be hiding somewhere inside.
Is it what time of day is it?
Say it's like midday now. You're walking from the Wizard's Conclave to the docks, then chasing and then losing them.
Do I see any taverns or something that's got a good view of the boats in port
Yes.
that I could kind of set up at and just kind of watch it and sip an ale and kind of chill?
Okay. So, give me a perception roll to see if you can recite this shady dude.
No, we've just met, but you can roll in my box.
Oh, you're so sweet. 15.
Phrasing.
Okay.
So much phrasing. But only if you're South African.
You do catch sight of the Yuan Ti again, making his way hurriedly across the docks. This time, wearing a new cloak around him.
Does the cloak look familiar to me?
No, it's just a plain dark green cloak, very, average, but it seems that this guy realized someone was trying to follow him and is trying to cover his tracks a little better.
So I want to slam back the rest of my ale, whatever I have left, carefully leave the required amount of money and no more,
Okay.
and then
No tip.
follow him again.
Alright, so,
Less stealthily this time because he already knows maybe?
maybe, yeah, so...
It's a crowded dock.
Yeah, he sees you and he kind of picks up his pace, but you're keeping pace with him as well this time. Finally, he ducks down a dark alley.
Yeah.
Do you follow?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You round the corner and you see him standing before you, energy crackling in his hands. He says, "Who are you and why are you following me?" Energy in one hand, an amulet in the other one.
Is it an amulet that I can recognize?
Just a small
Just an amulet.
small amulet, silver chain, little red stone on the end of it.
Well, to be honest, I really have no business with you. I just have had business with your kind. And saw you being a little dodgy.
Dodgy. I just
I'm
walked
a
down to the
little bored.
docks.
You snuck down to the docks. That might be true.
Some people are naturally sneaky. That's no reason to chase me around down the docks.
It's more curiosity than anything. Who are you, and what was that giant castle?
The name's Aki. Me and my friends were able to take it from the giant Modoc. It is ours, and I believe they're doing some business with the Wizard's Conclave now.
You took down the giant Modoc.
Of course, it wasn't very hard. I'm trying to get Aki's personality. I'm trying to think.
Fuck yeah, that's right.
He did it all on his own.
I mean, I'd say I took on the lion's share of the work, but my companions helped quite a bit.
So why aren't you with your companions now?
I have other work that needs to be done. And I don't wish to elaborate on it any further.
To be honest, it's mostly boredom. Have you been here for a while? No, you just got here. Have you ever been here before?
In the past, yes.
Kind of shitty place. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's nice. It's nice. It's fine.
If you like
just
drinking and eating
fine.
and lazing about, it's a fun enough
not
town.
so
But
much my speed.
but I won't be staying here very long. If you wish for adventure, though, I'm sure that my companions could use a strong arm to help them. You seem to be a fighter. Either way, if you want to talk to them, they're the personal
I do have
ones
a
here.
little amulet.
Ah, like a symbol, yeah. Yeah, perhaps a fighter, cleric, some sort of warrior. But all I know is that I'm not hiring any help right now, but they might be.
Can you arrange an introduction?
Well, you know what? Talk to the dog boy or or the halfling. They're the ones that like meeting new people the most.
That is our word.
I don't know who you're talking about, but could you tell me where to find them?
Just at the Wizards Conclave, back where you started.
Hate that place.
Where you started following me around,
There,
profiling
you
me.
probably deserved it.
You know what? I probably do, but that's neither here nor there. Are we finished now, or am I going to have to, let loose with the
Can
my
I
attacks?
roll an insight check just to kind of make sure that he's not leading me on?
Okay.
That's a terrible roll, but it's a 9 total.
He seems genuine but annoyed, I guess.
Something we have in common.
It sounds like Aki.
It's a low roll, but this guy does seem a little shady, no matter what. He was sneaking about, and he did run from you.
But I haven't seen him do anything.
But you haven't seen him do
overtly.
anything, yes. And you're feeling maybe a little bit that, following around might not be fruitful.
Alright, well, fine. I understand. You be you, I'll be me. We'll go our separate ways, have fun often wherever.
The
Wait,
natural
your
enemy.
friends, their names?
Oh, yes, there's Feather Marshal is the dwarf.
Feather.
Good guy, I guess. He really looks up to me. There's Adrian, the aforementioned wolf boy. Jessup. What did I say, Adrian?
You did say Adrian. That's so funny.
You often refer to me as my character as Adrian, but it's fine. because I'm just that good. I'm always on.
Jessup the wolf boy. There's the halfling woman Zenbri. Big hulking ASMR paladin's name is Akul. I think he copied his name off of mine personally, but
Who plays the paladin in real life?
Daniel,
Is he not
the man with the baby.
Okay.
Not playing today.
Not today. He's
Time Mother's Day.
busy at the temple.
What's the paladin's name?
Akul.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Personally, I don't trust the guy very much, but
AKUL.
So wait, there's an Aki and an Aki and an Akul.
and an AKI.
it gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
Remember,
Alright.
Aki likes to smanky. He doesn't really, he just calls Eldritch spells.
Constantly. He likes to spy mostly on people.
I don't reckon I have any more business with you.
I don't believe you do. No, I think we should go our separate ways and let this just be a little almost fight.
Yeah. I would have almost won.
I'm okay with that outcome. And he,
I'm gonna go back to Tavern I was at before.
okay, and he goes on his own separate way.
I'm not in a hurry to go back to the Wizards Conclave.
Yeah. It's all just a bunch of losers studying all day.
Pretty terrible.
So, that was kind of your day. You spend time at the tavern and return back as your contract states that you're supposed to do. If you
And I
want.
follow the strictest interpretation of the spirit of that contract.
Yes.
At 8 o'clock.
Exactly.
I show up and not at
At the time.
7:59.
I know we're in the middle of this battle, but it's 4:29, and I'm done at 4:30.
So, I imagine For convenience sake, perhaps you all return to your rooms for the night. They're comfortable enough, well decorated. This is, basically you're sleeping in the personal chambers where many of the traveling wizards lived before. But look, don't touch with their personal things, please. And the following morning, I guess you all, they try to gather everyone up for breakfast at the same time. They have a big communal breakfast each day.
And I assume when I come down to breakfast, I will see a dwarf and a halfling
Yeah.
And a ranger.
and a thing.
I come downstairs and I'm now not wearing the shirt because I have Ring of Warmth, and I'm just enjoying the shit out of this Ring of Warmth
Gave him
right
things
now.
where he didn't need to wear clothes.
Really,
Didn't think that went through, but
I've just woken up.
never
That's
do.
good.
I literally
The shirt will come back
never
on
do.
eventually, but I'm having breakfast and everyone can kind of get fucked right now.
So, let's see. Here we go. So, do you want to try and join the cool kids table?
Yeah, with no social grace whatsoever.
Ah,
Yeah, just plop down and be like, yo.
Alright, so you all are sitting, perhaps beginning to catch up from the day's events yesterday, seeing Zenbri again after she was gone for the day. And Akul, who is gone, he did not decide to go down for breakfast, and anyone that would have checked his room would find that it was empty. And Aki, also gone, even looking, were you to check in Modoc's castle.
band's breaking up, man.
But just as you're missing, some of the other people, this heavily armored cleric of which god again?
Or.
I don't want to say it wrong.
It's H-O-A-R, but they say it's pronounced whore.
Yeah, I
Okay.
literally just watched a video on that last night. And I'm
So
like,
On Hoar.
never heard about this
I mean-
this god before.
the god,
God of whore.
any of you that has any sort of religious, backing would
I would probably know.
recognize, the symbol emblazoned, kind of.
Remember right, it's like a hand. With a coin.
It's like the coin with two faces
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it. It's holding
A
it.
what with two
It's
faces?
like a coin with two faces.
Ah, okay.
And a hand
And a
holding
hand
the
holding
coin.
a coin.
Okay,
Remember,
so
I've just gotten a little like amulet kind of thing that I got.
So, what's the morning gossip, I guess? You guys, this person just joins your table and you just sort of collect yourselves after all the events in Selun's temple and the Wizards College and stuff for the day. You notice Korgel, Preston, and Nima also eating at their own table. Preston seemingly, no worse for wear than when you met him in Golden Helm before.
Where's Corton?
Corton, I guess, maybe stayed in the castle.
Okay.
He doesn't trust these wizards, so he's, doing that thing wherever there's like a repairman and you're standing over their shoulder the whole time.
Okay.
He's doing that for them combing through the castle.
Hey, don't touch the settings. I
Yeah.
just got it how I want
Through
it.
the air vents around the
Okay.
library. I don't know. For some reason, he's like, I am the steward of this tower, of this castle.
That's okay, actually. It's
You
good.
can call me
That's good.
Count Korgel, or Corton. Count Corton.
Corton. Okay, cool. Corton is my brother.
So did you manage to get any nice things yesterday? Morning, by the way. Jessup
Hi.
just gives her a little hug.
Okay,
I was gonna say, nobody says good morning anymore.
I was about to say good morning, hi, to this new person who sat down at the table with us.
You must be Feather. Aki had a lot to say about you.
I'm not a dwarf or male.
Okay, no wait, then that makes you. Oh, what was the name?
Zenbri.
Zimbri, yes, Zimbri.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I ran into your friend.
Aki. I suppose you could follow.
You saw him yesterday?
Yeah.
I'm Jessup, by the way.
Pleasure.
Shake hands and whatnot.
Hello.
The dwarf is just like,
Yeah. Eating eggs. All the bacon.
Where's our shadowy friend?
oh, God, if if you guys don't know, then I would reckon no one did. He's at the docks, took off, tried to sparkly hand me a little bit.
That sounds like him.
Yeah. Said he took down a giant, like by himself.
Did he try and like? He does this thing where people just go oh, for a couple of like minutes.
No, we didn't get that far. To be fair.
All right.
To be fair, didn't Aki get the last hit on the giant?
Which giant?
Who did? Who finished it off?
Actually.
The undead Marduk. I think it was me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. No, he said you guys were. I mean, you went around with him, and he didn't really need any help, but that maybe this could be a fruitful kind of meeting, kind of thing.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, it sounds
That sounds like him.
He was mysterious as fuck.
So what's your deal? You been here long?
Too long. It's been terrible. Do you know anything about wizards, man? It's terrible.
Elvira's alright. I mean, she's done good by us. I
Sitting right
think.
next to you.
She's done good by us. She's
No,
done
they're
good by us.
fine. Just like the town is fine. It's all just fine. It's terrible.
And you would especially maybe be feeling restless knowing that both the cities of Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate are under great duress right now from giant attacks.
Especially since there's a lot of other stuff going on in this world. It's just so boring.
There's always a lot of stuff going on in this world.
It's true. I like to be where that is, not here.
Well, then you should hang out with us, because it seems to follow us around.
Yeah. Speaking of that, did you manage to chat to old Evie about
yeah,
our friend?
Our friend?
Oh yeah, old icy hard on.
Oh, the demon?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. I somehow ended up owing a demon a bride. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Are you looking for a husband?
I certainly am not.
So where are you from? Are you from Waterdeep yourself, or have you just been here for a bit?
No. I'm not from around here. I kind of travel place to place. Do a little here, do a little there, move on. Don't stick around in one place. This has been the longest I've been in one place for some time, and I don't know how people do it. You just stay, and it's terrible.
Yeah, my people are kind of nomadic as well. That's one of our things.
One of what things? Who are your people?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Wolfkind. We're essentially shapeshifters, changers, lycanthropes.
Really?
Yes.
How interesting.
Yeah, we're the good kind.
Okay, so the the whole hall is kind of filled with people chit-chatting and eating and stuff, and another dwarf, big black beard, wearing robes signifying that he's head of one of the wizarding colleges, approaches you guys. Hey there, all. His name's Melgar Frostbeard. Yes, the very same. My fame precedes me, I guess.
Being the last dwarf left in Waterdeep.
I guess second to last now.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your name, by the way?
Feather Marshal.
Feather Marshal. Really? Well, I guess that explains why you didn't get the damn memo then.
What memo was that?
We can discuss that, just the two of us, later if you'd like. That's one of the reasons I came here, but the other was that some interesting notes were found in your castle last night. Yeah, a whole ream of notes from that Farkas fellow, the old student here, guy.
Interesting chap.
So figured we curated the parts that would be of most interest to you, and figured we could, let you in on the secret, so to speak, some of the stuff that we found out.
He's good.
Oh, and let's see. One sec, I got that part. And Mardem. we talked about it. We've been talking about it a bit. We know that you're not too happy here, cooped up at the tower.
Isn't that obvious?
And we're willing to end the contract a bit early if you'd like to move on. It seems that we won't be needing your services any further for the time being. If you'd like, we could keep a sending stone on you, and we can let you know if there's any more work.
That would be agreeable to me.
Perfect. Well, we can all take care of that right now.
You're looking for work?
I'm always looking for what needs to be done.
Oh, you're I noticed your symbol. You're a Cleric of Hoar.
I am.
Well, what's your deal? You guys usually look for some form of vengeance kind of dealy?
It's not vigilantism, it's more justice that hasn't been done.
Well, Saloon just died, and I'm kind of in the mood for a bit of justice if you want to help me out with that.
That sounds exactly like what I need right now.
I can offer you payment in the form of whatever we find when we kill along the way that you find yourself.
It's not really a payment, is it?
No, but basically I'm saying
Let you keep stuff.
we'll let you keep whatever you find.
Let her keep.
I know.
Unless we want to.
God, these men just have no idea how to talk to women, do they? Would you like to join our party? We share things that we find.
Mardem is a woman, right?
I am a woman.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Make sure the character is. I didn't want to
The
assume.
character is also a woman.
It's all just kind of assumed, my people. We keep what we find. It's one.
Well,
We don't just
as
keep.
a follower of horror, I don't really care about the whole, as long as it keeps me going to the next action.
Yeah, that's kind of like me too. Like, except for when I want something, then I'm like, okay, can I get some gold? Buy it, and then that's it.
Heather snorts softly every time somebody says war.
I've gotten that a lot. He's not all that common of deity, so I get that a lot.
I can imagine, yeah. Well, yeah, some big time justice meeting for the death of my god would be great.
Cool.
Well, if you're
I'm in.
if you're going to be traveling with them, then Mardon, that's perfect.
I think we can
you
blame the Void
come
Knight
with
for
them.
that.
We're going to. I suppose we can let you in on a little bit of the secret of why we've been hiring so many mercenaries. Then. So, not here though. Not with everyone around.
Okay.
Back in Modoc's Keep.
Sure.
Sure.
That's good.
Is Modok not the giant that you killed?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we have his castle now.
We haven't come up with another
To be fair,
appropriate name to replace it.
Did when we killed him as well.
Yes.
You re-killed him.
We killed him.
We did.
Somebody else.
Did you re-alive him as well
No.
to re-kill him?
No,
Bad hag
that
was
was a
dead.
hag. That was a hag. Yeah.
Did you
Okay.
re-kill
Let's
the
go
hag?
to the castle.
We did. And we
Two
So-
of them.
first killed the hag, and we first killed his daughter as well,
The hag's daughter. One of them.
which was the bride. It was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And she was actually trying to talk to us, and she just went instead. A little rash sometimes, our little one.
Hindsight.
Don't fucking call me a little one.
I'm the same
I
size
will
as
cut
you.
off your fucking
I'm the
legs.
same size as you.
I know.
How tall are you? 3 foot or 4 foot?
3 feet.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
I'm much taller than you. Goodness, how tall are you?
14.
5'11".
5'10".
I'm like 4 now.
As you guys go into the library, Melgor's like, oh, go ahead to the library. I'll get her a token so she can get around the castle safely. And he kind of pulls you aside and he's like, oh, just a little word of warning. I wanted to tell you what we know about these people.
Yes.
We know that they were in Greenrest before the city fell to hill giants. An associate of ours, Thomas Redbirch, was apparently quite excited to work with them in the near future, but they abandoned the city to the giant attack in order to save Small Town.
In a much smaller town.
Kylik, one of our wizards, told us that they were quite heroic in defending Small Town from this cult of the void that we've been investigating. So, just to know, they seem to go where they want more than any sort of loyalty to one place. Just a warning, although with your nature, I think that might actually suit you.
As long as they're not abandoning what needs to be done.
Well, that's really for you to decide. All we know is that they were in Green Rest. Green Rest fell while they were away for some reason. And then we later saw them at Small Town.
Well, I appreciate your counsel.
No problem. And then he pulls on sort of a slot machine style thing. A small coin pops out. Here you go. This will let you travel throughout this castle without its defenses activating.
I should have gotten these like a week ago.
Think helicopter blades and take the legs off.
So, in the library, Melgar sort of lays out some papers. He says, there's a lot of technical details, blueprints for this keep, things like that. But here we did find some, looks like a diary entry. This one's an old one, though. 10, 15 years ago is what he's talking about. So, here's what it said.
From Modoc?
From Farkas, actually. It seems that he put a few of his notes in the library. Left them behind. I don't know why.
All right.
It says here, I saw it with my very own eyes. Too massive to take in, no matter how high I looked. Each scale on its stomach as large as a city. It thrashed and turned in space, world shattered like glass. In its wake, only an empty void. Not black, somehow less. More empty. If its tail had swiped a bit closer, it surely would have killed me then. I couldn't have moved if I wanted to, so entranced and cowed by the beast. I knew right then that I was looking at the end of all life. As I sat on the patio of the Inn of Doors, Ascension oozed to my left, a weepy pair of pixies to my right, and myself, a drunken student with warm piss running down my leg. I knew there wasn't any point to doing anything other than spending every waking moment trying to kill that thing. For 15 years, I've studied everything I could find about the Void Naga, a term I found in a crumbled Saurian text. I learned of its nature and its duality with the Giant's All-Father, who was easier to study. I've staked my life and the life of all living things on this idea, that they can die, the same all things must someday die. The All-Father's brother Balin died, thus the All-Father can also die. Ancient Saurian texts speak of a 7-headed serpent, but I interviewed an unspeakably ugly tentacled-faced horror 5 years ago that spoke of a 6-headed Naga, thrashing through the far realms. The creature was a refugee. Apparently the Naga spent several years destroying the far realms. But 7 to 6 heads indicates to me that the Void Naga can be wounded. It seems that I've found a receptive audience in the dwarves, of the Strong Pig clan. Their delegation toured Modoc's recently upgraded stronghold, and they seem impressed. They seem to share my vision for how to end the cycle, and they have the ears of all the great dwarven holds. I'll speak more with them tomorrow. I'm finishing up a pump to make the water near his beach come in waves. I could be working on the shields, but no. I've got to be fucking around with plumbing all day on something that even a human could figure out. God, I can't wait for this job to be finished.
He's a gnome, right?
Yes.
Who was it again?
Farkas.
Farkas was the person who built the castle.
So, Melgor adds, it seems to me that this is confirmation of some of our worst fears. The Void Naga is real, and it spent several years out in the far realms destroying everything in sight. Which I think explains some of the problems we've been having lately. Creatures trying to find their way into the material plane that shouldn't. Trouble in the Underdark. All manner of things can be explained with, well, a refugee crisis in the far realms. And, as I said, confirmation that Farkas saw the Void Naga with his own eyes.
Where? From the inner doors? Through a door? Through a portal?
The Inn of Doors is kind of a shortcut, I guess. Place that has portals to several different realms. A lot of the wizarding kind use it to travel quickly from place to place, and it's just a good place to meet interesting people, I suppose. Sort of a neutral zone.
That's in Kowloon.
That is the closest entrance to it, yes.
We were still hoping to get inside there.
We need to get papers from Garfield.
Ah, yes. Well, since the Kowloon's under quarantine, you will need the signing off for all 3 of the council members. But Garfield should be able to, get the votes for you easily enough.
What plague is it?
It's something I haven't seen before. I got to study one of the bodies, but it had to be very sterile. It was their veins were all black and engorged, and the person I saw had no eyes and sort of black ichor running out of the holes in his head. It was
Tasty.
not a pleasant autopsy.
That sounds pretty gross, I'm not gonna lie. But, is there any way we can help these people?
How many deaths have there as well?
We don't know. We've basically shut off the whole area. Anyone that goes in isn't really allowed to go out too carefully unless they can prove that they're disease-free.
And I've had a cleric on one of the diseased people. Any sort of healing done?
It can provide some measure of comfort before the end, but doesn't seem to be a way to cure the disease necessarily.
I don't know if I need to make some kind of check for this, but the symptoms of the disease he's describing, does it sound similar to the diseases that we saw before in those villages in the Sylvan Marches?
It doesn't seem too similar to that
Okay.
necessarily, because those ones were mostly putting people to sleep,
Yes.
and these ones
That was in
are
the water.
outright killing them.
Yeah.
Yes, that was in
Okay.
the
It's in
water.
the water again.
We do
No,
think
the
that
earlier was
maybe the
taken.
water could be contaminated or something.
Where does the water in Kowloon come from?
They've got their own cistern, actually, separate from the rest of the city. That's been the only saving grace from this whole thing, is that we've been able to keep
People
it in
have
there.
looked into it. People have looked into that.
Well, people that go in there seem to be attacked or catch the disease. Well, it's the, if a plague is one thing, but adding a gang war on top of it just seems to make things worse.
Can I like see the autopsy notes or something and do like maybe a medicine check to see if I can understand more about what kind of plague it is?
I'd say you actually have looked it over, because the disease has been going on for a while. And looking over the notes, I guess give me a medicine check to see how insightful Victor's view of this would be.
Ben, just one more thing
11.
here. Go do that.
Alright?
Yeah.
11.
When you were studying the wizard's notes earlier, it did seem to just you weren't able to gain any extra insight from it, really. It sounds just like a horrible disease that builds pressure on all of the fluids in the body until the person just pops or goes insane.
Sounds gross.
Yeah, it's but as for the cure, there's no insight, and for the cause of it, it's still too hard to tell.
So the only question that I have here is about my primeval awareness. So it says I have an innate ability to communicate with beasts through sounds and gestures. I can communicate ideas as an action and can read their basic mood and intent. Now, do I need to speak with animals to communicate with my Hulk if I have this thing?
Well, it says you have the ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize you, so you don't need to speak with animals. You use sounds and gestures
Okay, that's
to communicate with it. So you can train, like, stop, go,
sweet.
do this, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll circle above, and
Okay, so you can't actually ask it a question.
yeah, you can be like, so what? How are you feeling today? Oh, I'm a little down.
I would need
worried
to
about the
actually cast
economy.
the thing for that. While all of this is, we've encountered a lot of weird things here. I just want to sort of get a beat on this city. I'm just going to sit down and meditate for a minute. So I'm going to try to use the primeval awareness. How big would you say Waterdeep is?
Melgor sees you meditating. Jessup,
I'm listening. Just give me 1 minute.
is he always like this?
I just want to see within 5 miles around us I want to see. Okay, it's just going to pick up giants within 5 miles around me and humanoid shapeshifters.
Okay, I mean, I guess there probably would be some sort of.
There's gotta be some in
So
the
are you
city.
wait? Are you using the hawk to do this?
No,
or-
that's me.
Okay.
It's the primeval awareness.
Okay, so out into the ocean, a couple miles away, you sense giant kind.
So I should get a beat on like how many there are there.
Roughly about 10 to 12
Okay.
out in the water.
Okay. Very good.
For shape changers, I mean, there's probably some shape changers, maybe a couple pings throughout the city, but
It's just they're talking about disease and stuff. I feel like, is it the Oni? Like, I don't know.
but you don't pick up the familiar feeling of the Oni, though.
Awesome.
But you do sense that there are perhaps giants out in the waters,
Okay.
a few miles in, or a few miles out.
All right.
And Melgor sort of begins filling you, and he's like, so that's what we've been studying. That's why we've been hiring so many mercenaries and sending them to far-flung places. We believe that some sort of natural cycle between this All-Father god of the giants and this Void Naga is about to take place. And we're looking for ways to survive it.
Doesn't seem like you've left anyone here.
No, that is one of the biggest issues we have, is that so many problems in Waterdeep, we've left ourselves too thin to solve them, really.
We do have. We had an idea of how to help out. We're actually trying to get into the Undermountain to root out a couple of people there. They have a sunstone, we were told, and that is going to get us access to where we need to be to actually get into the Underdark. To be honest, but if we can get the sunstone, that'll help people out as well.
The Underdark. So you're going to be going after that cloak, then, I suppose.
Yes.
Ugh, I just wonder if these artifacts are even the thing to do. That's one point of contention I have with the other heads of the college. I don't even know if that's going to work.
It can't help. It can't hurt.
I mean, it could. We could be spreading our resources all over the world, chasing after magic baubles. And
What do you think is a good idea?
I don't know. When
Well then. Well then, you've no other idea.
well, I mean, killing all the giants, killing all the Nagas personally, might do something. Or go along with Farkas's crazy plan and join up with the dwarves. Every day I think about.
So they're building something big somewhere.
But
They are.
I thought that the only way to kill the Naga was with these things.
That was, yeah. That seems to be one of the ideas.
Perhaps. I mean, the Nagas made it through any number of cycles now unscathed, though. If it can be done, then perhaps it would have been done already.
That's not true.
I agree. I think, if somebody is hitting that angle, we should hit the
Yeah.
other angle. Farkas is capable
Coming
enough to
from
build
both
this thing.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, like
Maybe we'll join up.
I don't
Yeah.
want to behave like, just because somebody else couldn't do it, we can do it because we're better or something. But
Right.
maybe if we can get, if we can get all the things
But you didn't pass
together
the giant's castle.
and help, and you guys can help us, we can all work together to actually make it work. So, from what I understand, from what we've read, the information that we've gathered, the last time someone tried to stop this, there were only like a few people working on it.
Mm-hmm.
If we get more people working on this, it could have a higher chance of working this time.
Perhaps. Well, that's the view of the rest of the college, at the very least.
Right.
So just so I understand our options, we have wizards and possibly us looking for various magical items in order
Yeah,
to
there was
defeat the
a
Naga.
long ago. There was a famous guy who had all these magical things, and he came closest to defeating the Naga, but didn't. And now we've been told that to defeat the Naga, we have to go and get all these items. We already have 2 of them.
Yeah.
What do you have?
This spear.
And this handsome circlet in my head.
And And now we need the cloak of 1,000 colors.
Well, do you feel 2/5 of the way ready to beat the Void Naga in hand-to-hand combat? Then you've got 2 of the items,
How
right?
big did you say it was?
I'm sorry,
Scale
but
the size of a city. That's what Farkas says, at least.
that's what the wizards are doing as well?
Yes,
Looking for
yes,
these
that's-
He is little.
Part of what we were doing. What you were investigating was the role of dragons in all of this. We dissected that body that you brought back to us, and it seems that it was hollowed out.
We've come across this before. There
Okay.
was we were
Recently.
where we found the circlet. There was a Naga that called itself Orsis. It said it was the herald of the Void Naga. It had taken essentially possession of a green dragon's body by
We thought we
crawling
were
inside
fighting a
it.
green dragon, but it wasn't.
And this is where?
This was in Goldenhelm. There was there's a ziggurat there that has apparently been there all the time. It seems to come through cycle after cycle and rises at appropriate points, and it mostly wiped out most of Goldenhelm. So the people there are kind of refugees, basically. I hope they actually make it out. I gave them a fair amount of money. I think they'll be able to.
Hopefully, they didn't go to
Fine.
Baldur's
Outside.
Gate for safety.
To be honest, so much has happened. I don't remember where I suggested they go.
Oh,
Mistake.
Where did I?
Vandal, strike again.
Stake again. Oh, yeah, those old timey newspapers. You know they.
The dragon corpse that I found with the help of the wizards was in
Near God's throne in the Grey Fields.
in the grave fields. Have you been that way?
I'm not sure where is that.
Have not been there. No.
Okay.
No, I didn't think we'd be there. No.
Now,
I've been like
Well, I mean, if you're saying that
I've been here
this
before.
hollowed out dragon is one of the perhaps Naga heralds of the big one, the grave fields is also a
we didn't
point
get
of interest.
We didn't get away. Horses.
I think we
Here we go.
we got away. It let us
Green
get away.
Meadows.
Yes.
Let's
That's where
just
it
be
was.
honest about the whole situation.
Yeah, did
I
they
would
not?
stubbornly
Did horses got
continue
away,
to call it
right?
Grey
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh,
we
so
got
wait,
away.
you've been to small town.
Yes.
So you've been near-ish.
Yeah,
if you go
we've been-
north from small town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
My
One-
family-
Where those roads wanted you to go.
That's why we
Yeah, up toward God's throne.
now, Melvor, where
instead of staying
when I was
in Greenwood.
speaking to my brother last night with the help of the dream spell you guys cast for me, he mentioned a wizard by the name of Blackstaff, or a man by the name of Blackstaff who's out near Krasner Rock. Where is that exactly? An old dwarven stronghold that's been abandoned forever.
Well, that's actually not too far away. Down past Glowstone. You go through the Glowstone mines, and eventually you'll hit it.
So we have to get underground to get there?
Yes, yes. Most dwarf holds are deep underground.
Shit,
Is that an entrance to the Underdark as well there?
Yes, yes. I believe there is one. There are many entrances to the Underdark.
Because Blackstop knows where the Elder Brain is.
yes.
Now, as for Blackstaff himself, I don't think I'd want to work with a man such as him. He completely lost his mind some years ago. Ruled as a tyrant of the Undermount and, just created traps and consorted with all kinds of creatures from the Far Realms. But, the Far Realms are gone now, so I imagine there's a great many more creatures now that under his employ.
I would imagine so, and it's going to be, if anybody knows anything about maybe the first appearance of the Void Naga there, it's going to be these creatures.
Perhaps, if you could find a way to speak to him, yes.
Quick question out again. What is the Undermount?
It's like a giant dungeon underwater deep.
Underwater
basically.
deep. Okay. And then through that, there's an entrance into Underdark. Okay.
Yeah, it just depends where you want to pop out in the Underdark, basically. By the way, I probably should download that
From what I remember,
Underdark adventure legally, of course.
from what I remember, when I went there with my brother originally, we entered through Silvery Moon. That's the closest entrance to Menzo Brands.
And that would drop you off quite close there. Yes, if that's where you want to go.
That's quite quite far north and east.
But in the Inn of Doors, is there a door to Menzoberranzan?
Well, that is a good question. I believe that there is.
That would cut a lot of time off.
The Drow often are seen at the Inn of Doors, you know. Not a lot of good liquor down in the Underdark, so.
If it's a sieged city, right? Your brother and the armies are holding siege.
And now where in the city it drops you off,
we
I
don't
don't
want to pop
know.
up inside. We want to speak to your brother on the outside.
This is true. You know,
You're not really communicating with your brother?
well, now that I know where he is, and now that he knows that we're coming to help him, sending should be a lot more useful. The dreaming, I can't cast that, but if we know somebody who can cast sending, that should help us out. But, I mean, I think a safer point of entry might be Blingdenstone. That is Blingdenstone. That's not that far away from Menzoberranzan, and it would be
How far
a
away is that
safer
from
city.
here?
It's still it gets weird, the topography, like up and down. That's
I mean,
my
we're
brother's
just
area
above
of
the
expertise.
Undermountain now. We need to go down there anyway.
It's far, man. From here, it's far.
Two
You
Menzoberranzan.
probably wouldn't be able to take this castle with you down there either.
Don't like flying.
Definitely not.
But I think for today, we definitely have an area that we need to tackle. I'm itching to go and get something done and help some people.
Get a sunstone.
Let's go get the Sunstone, I think, or try speak to Garfield. But I kind of feel like hitting something.
Well, the meeting, the council meeting is set for today.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that first. But there's what do you know about the gangs? Are they the gang in the Undermountain? Is it the same as the gang fighting in one of the gangs fighting in Kalum?
Well, you know, it's hard to tell because the Undermountain was so recently cleared out, it's hard to know who moved in, but
Okay.
the gang that has the Sunstone is located in the docks, actually.
Okay.
They're cool.
The Nameless Ones? Now, I'm not really sure where they got their hands on something as powerful as the Sunstone, but we know they're not using it for happy, nice, fun time purposes.
If we were to go and steal the Sunstone, how would we go about that? Where would we get entrance to the Undermountain?
There's a bar that you can take, and there's it'll drop you in a well just down to the very top level of the Undermountain. Beyond that, perhaps, I don't know any other ways in, just the traditional one.
So who are all the council members? There's Count Yuling, and there is Garfield Odina, and you said there was the third.
His name's Rosnoff. He's Yuling's lapdog, basically,
Okay.
but in title, he's the head of the city guard. Though
Okay.
Count Yuling retains the Griffin Knights under his own employ.
Okay.
But I would say getting a permit to go in there shouldn't be too hard if you have Garfield's support.
Okay.
He doesn't like Mondays, though, I'll warn you.
Is it Monday?
Sure.
It's Sunday.
Apologies, but to get the sunstone that you want, we have to do.
I think we have to
There's a
head up this
gang
gang.
in the Undermountain that are growing hydroponic narcotics using sunstone, which is basically a mini sun, as it were, in a gem. And the city needs one so that they can free up some of the magic users from stopping the winter, the unnatural winter that's ruining the farmlands around Woody.
So we need to go to the Underdark to get the sunstone.
Undermountain.
Oh, sorry, the Undermountain
Yeah.
to get the sunstone.
Dungeon underneath.
Or
Woody.
convince the priests of Lathander to give you
Yeah,
theirs.
they also have one. They don't know what they're used for, but they're not caring to give it to anybody for any reason. I've tried to convince religious people to do things before in my life, and I think it would be easier to steal from a bunch of drug lords.
Well,
I'm
you
like
know,
vaguely almost offended, and then I'm like, yeah, no, you're right.
I'm a little stubborn, I guess, yeah.
if they are gangs and such, maybe there's just some way to get them to do stuff without killing them too.
Criminals are a cowardly lot, usually.
I'm just curious. When we landed our spaceship, our castle, our flying castle, it wasn't like a big thing. I mean, there weren't heralds, like nobody in the city knows it was us or what we look like or that we flew in on a
Oh,
giant
people
castle.
saw that castle. You haven't seen the papers today.
Okay.
But we haven't let anyone into the conclave though, so your identities have been kept on the hush hush, basically. No one knows who owns the castle.
Maybe some of us should infiltrate the game.
That's the thing.
That is a thing.
Maybe it should be me.
So we want to head to the docks. What time is this meeting that we're supposed to have?
Well, hopefully you don't mind, but we decide to start it about an hour from now. Give you time to eat breakfast and travel down there.
I guess I should put a shirt on.
I mean,
Please put it down.
it is, they are some of the high nobles of the city. They probably are expecting it.
Probably, but I'm not wearing Modoc's stuff again. Purple is not my color, guys.
Oh, we've got a surplus of wizard robes if you want some of those. A few undershirts. Nothing too fancy, though.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm dressed in like plain brown. Not peasant garb, but like normal.
Yeah.
Normal garb.
Not like black clothes.
Alright.
Burnt glass.
All right.
It's hard to keep track of everyone when you meet them all at one time.
I'll go put a shirt on.
Okay, so, fast forwarding a little bit, I think, to the meeting. You are at the Grand Council Chambers of Waterdeep, a huge ornate building, a lot of white marble and statues, very well-maintained grounds. They've piled all the snow off to the side, so even the lawn still has green grass on it. And perhaps there's wizards, keeping the area unnaturally warm. Only the best for the councilmen. Don't want them to feel a little bit uncomfortable in this winter. And you are at the entrance. There is a group of Griffin Knights that ask you, to waylay your weapons. They'll log them in the book, and you'll get them back as soon as you are finished with your meeting.
I don't know that I'm all that interested in this meeting.
I do not want to give them my spear of sword, sun and moon.
Okay, well then you cannot go into the meeting, and you will not receive a permit to
It's
enter.
Do all of us have to be there to get permits for each of us? Or can we send
It'll be
Wolfie and Z over here, and they can get permits for the two of us as well?
I suppose they could argue for all of your inclusion. You're putting it all on them, though.
I'm not a fan of
They're
this.
the good talkers. Oh, okay. I travel all the way back to the wizard thingy, and I give my spear of sun and moon to
One of the wizards, or
Frost
Okay.
Dwarf, yeah.
Okay.
So can you keep this for me? I do not wish to leave it outside any council chambers at some.
I don't mind
Random
giving up my
Griffin
weapons, no problem.
Hi.
I'm
So they
I'm okay with
log
that.
it in the book. Here's exactly what you have. It's in the box. You'll get it back as soon as you're done.
Yeah.
I am a weapon.
Well, then perhaps
too.
Perhaps
More
you
of a
should
weapon.
not tell people that.
you're led into the Grand Council chambers, equally as ornate as the rest, where I'd say rather well-to-do looking man, short little sharp beard, mustache combo, finely dressed, dark colors and gold trim, with, you notice, a shield guardian sitting right behind him at his side. Next to his
What is that again?
Count Yuling.
No, what's the shield guardian?
Oh, it's like a kind of a robot that
Empty
protects.
pseudo-armor.
Yeah,
Robot
basically.
bodyguard.
Okay.
To his right sits Garfield Odina, the head of councilman for the Wizards, and to his left is an empty seat where Count Rosnoff would be sitting. He says, "So, you all want to enter the quarantined area, Kowloon Walled City, correct?" And Count Yuling seems kind of bored shuffling through some papers. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
For what purpose?
To to visit the Inn of Doors.
I'm not familiar with that place. What do you mean? You want to go to the inside Kowloon walled city, the site of a plague, to visit an inn that you like?
Well, it's not that. We've been told by the Wizarding College that there is a inn there with many portals to different realms and places.
Oh,
We're
okay.
busy helping them combat the end of cycle that some people think is, some people think isn't happening. We're just trying to make sure that everybody stays safe.
Yes, I've heard the wizards prattle on about, it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world, but I'm more concerned with real events that are happening in front of my eyes right now. So what I'm seeing are a group of vagabonds, by the look of it, that have rolled into my city and want to open up a quarantined district so they can play hero and mess around and get sick.
Well, myself and Sambri are quite skilled healers. We would probably be able to locate the source of this at some point and perhaps help you out in that manner.
Ah, you'll fix it. Okay, that's what it is. Like the other two adventuring parties that had healers and paladins, and they haven't come back. We've actually found one of their bloodied up corpses right by the gates. It seems they tried to escape and infect the rest of the city. Luckily, the Griffin Knights put them down before they could get through.
What's the thing? We're probably not going to be coming back.
Well, obviously not. If you enter, that's...
So there's no threat of us infecting your city.
But there is, because once you get the disease, which you all probably surely will if you spend any time in there, you will go mad with pain and rage, and probably tear through a great number of the people there before trying to escape. That's why there's always a crowd of them right near the gate. Because they're trying to escape. Oh, let us out, I'm not sick, blah, blah, blah. It's really, it's not a good situation, so...
I can't get sick.
Oh, you can't get sick, no.
My mother
that's
never understood how, but I never
so
even had sniffles.
convenient
my
for
whole life.
you, isn't it?
Never been
I'm gonna
sick
say
once.
I'm not impressed, honestly. These shiftless, loyalless vagabond adventurers that come through saying they're going to help and then they abandon us when the giants are at the gates. You know, a trade ship was captured just this morning. It was smashed to bits, and frost giants were seen taking the cargo and drowning the people in the water.
Okay.
But your concern is some imaginary void naga flying around in outer space.
If those giants don't stop until that imaginary void naga disappears, then.
I think I see what you want from us.
I think you do. That's good. What do I want from you then?
I think you want us to take care of one of your problems out here first, and then you'll let us go in there.
Well, Waterdeep does have so many issues, and we really do need skilled, loyal adventurers to protect us. Neverwinter, that will probably fall in the next few weeks. And when the giants come, are we going to be prepared to stop them? I don't know. That's my job, to protect us from people that would unleash disease upon my citizens and from giants that would rip down our walls and kill all of us.
So, which problem is most pressing, in your opinion?
Well, you know what, Garfield, I'm a little sick of the Wizards' Conclave constantly trying to advance its own interests at the expense of the people of Waterdeep. I will meet with these vagabonds in my own quarters, personally.
How many people are in this room?
There is Count Euling, Garfield, the Shield Guardian, and several members of the Griffin Knights.
I'm so tempted. So tempted.
So, I suppose if she is correct, there are tasks that need to be done. If you do them, I'll let you go get sick in there and you can get a crossbow bolt to the face like all the others that have entered. Is that fair?
Does that sound... I know
I mean, it
you...
sounds about par for the course
Yeah.
for these.
I know you want to get a move on doing something else, but, you know...
Oh, trust me, this will be a great task that will help the people of Waterdeep sleep more soundly at
Have
night.
vengeance in it.
I
Actually, a little bit.
I really apologize, but I had a lot of coffee this morning. Is there a bathroom nearby here?
No.
No? Damn.
You will
He
hold
has
it
a bag
until we
of
are
holding.
finished.
He has a bag of holding?
No. No.
It's really gross.
Okay, you know what? Griffin Knights, just escort him to the lavatory, I guess.
Thank you very much.
So-
on the way to the bathroom, when I get there, I want to cast message to Zimbri with the crown. You know, I can just make him do what we want for 30 days with this crown. Is it worth it?
No.
Shit. Okay, I'll come back then.
Knew you were thinking of something fucking stupid.
So, you're all brought into Count Euling's more private chambers, I guess, back there. He's sitting at his desk, looking over you all. He says, well, so, have you all heard some complaints about the guards lately?
I haven't
We actually met with a few that were
had trouble with them.
quite scammy.
Just brutish ruffians, aren't they? And I'm afraid to say that I was the one that brought many of them into the guard to legitimize them. But it's not important, really. The troublesome guards that have been causing all these troubles for all the people of Waterdeep will be meeting together at warehouse number 23 off Earling Street on the docks tonight. The warehouse has only two entrances, large sliding doors.
Earling Street?
Earling Street, yes, it's right on the waterfront, so you shouldn't be able to miss it, really. And it's clearly marked, Warehouse 23.
When you say troubles, what do you mean?
Oh, they've been harassing the citizens, demanding extra tolls.
They did that to us.
Even I've heard committing acts of violence against people that don't listen to them, which is just very unbecoming the high standards of the Waterdeep guards.
How many of them are there?
There will be about 40 of them in this warehouse tonight. They believe that that I'm just holding a meeting of old associates, but what will happen is this. There is a crate nearby that will have heavy chains. Chain both doors, from the seaside and the street side. And you will find several containers of kerosene. You can figure out the rest, yes?
You want us to burn
So
people?
you're
You
asking
want
us to burn people
kill
to death.
40 people?
I wish for you to, yes, burn 40 people.
There has to be a better way to do this. I mean, can't we convince them to leave the city
Or
instead?
what stops you from upholding your own laws that
Yeah.
they're breaking?
See, this isn't really a question and answer type of meeting. This is an I tell you to do something and you do it, or I'll get a couple other people to do it. It's not a hard task. Lock some chains, light some fires, and make sure that nobody escapes.
Hard pass.
Yeah, no, there is no way that I'm going to be doing that. You can
No,
take
no,
your
no.
walled city and stick it up your ass.
Okay, fair enough. Permit denied then, okay?
What
So,
the fuck?
Goodbye.
yes, you
Start
can
walking towards the door.
you can leave now. Toodles.
Oh, hold on. You're a cleric?
I am
So,
clever.
did
Yes.
you come
Yes,
inside?
yeah.
You didn't
She's
go
with us,
inside?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you okay with the idea of burning 40 people alive?
Are we standing inside the room or outside of the room right now?
Still, oh, he's walking
Because
out.
that's a
Other people.
Like,
They,
I'm just
they
saying.
are criminals. Each and every one of these men I have personally known to take illegal substances, attack citizens, murder, rape. They're not a really good
Every
bunch of
single
people.
one of them, we know that for sure. 100% every single one of them.
Every
is
single one of
bad.
them has killed.
Is this the kind of thing that we can get back to? Say we decide we actually do really want that permit in the next 30 minutes.
Well, if you can decide in 30 minutes, I suppose I'll still be in the chambers, but it needs to be done tonight, and there are a lot of people that want favors from me.
Can I make a perception check of the chamber?
Sure. What kind of thing are you looking for? or trying to perceive about it.
Exits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well, I
don't
guess
know, maybe a
maybe- well, I
perception
guess
check for that.
Like a
but-
hidden one, or no? There's the main door that you entered, and there's another door behind him that probably could be a closet or another exit somewhere else. I don't know.
Like, yeah, no. Let me.
So there's two
I do
ways
want
in
to
and
check
out.
for. I do want to check for, I guess, hidden doors or windows that are.
Sure, go ahead.
How many?
Well, I got my first nat one of them.
No.
So you're looking around. You don't notice any hidden doors or anything like that in the room. His desk is crowded with all manner of strange baubles and items, though.
Garfield has
What
left,
is that?
Garfield is in the main council chamber still.
and
Yes.
we are now at
We're in his
another
private
place.
room.
You're in his more personal workspace, his office.
I say, we go discuss it, and if in 30 minutes we can come back.
If you'd like, I could even run down the whole list of them and tell you all the crimes they've committed over the years. But I think it would take until
Can I just have a
nighttime to
copy
say
of the
it all.
list?
Let's see. You know what? No paper trail. That's how I think this should be done. But he starts rattling off names. Erwin blah blah blah. I remember he murdered a couple twin boys a few years ago, and whenever a hostage situation didn't go his way, he was able to escape the sewers. This man, he beat his wife several times over the years until one day he went too far and blah blah blah. So and so. Just see, he's listing these are not pleasant people that I'm asking you to eliminate.
Did you walk out? Are you gone?
He's
Depends how long this is taking. I turned around and started.
like, why aren't they following me?
With the promise of a little bit of leeway to discuss it, I'm also going to.
Now, I can sweeten the pot for you all, so to speak, but that really would only be worthwhile if you were able to enter and leave Kowloon City safely. If you all get sick and die, then obviously any extra payment I would be able to give to you wouldn't be much use, now would it?
I think I'm gonna join Feather.
Okay, yeah. Let's go talk. We're gonna talk. We'll be back.
Private
in a minute.
Okay, my office hours last for a few more hours, so come back in that time, but I will be interviewing other people for the job. Okay.
Okay. Let's,
So find somewhere private we can discuss.
yeah.
All right.
Not too far because
There's a really nice bathroom in here.
Should we also take our break here as well? 3:12.
Okay, sure.
So, a rather morally dubious offer from the councilman of Waterdeep. They need to think about it and decide, is it moral to burn 40 people alive for a rich guy so that you can possibly save even more from a plague? Find out next time on Dice Nerds and Nagas to see what the answer is.